Welcome back to Fairways in Finance, where we blend the game we love with financial strategies that can change your life. I'm Bryce Edmister, Wealth Advisor at Mason Borough Advisors, and I'm excited. We have a special episode and a special guest to share with you today. Stay tuned. So today I'm very excited for this episode. We have Mike Aversano, seasoned CPA, joining us, and now a business partner in launching Mason Borough Tax Solutions.
Absolutely, Bryce. Well, glad to be with you.
Thanks for having
Thanks for inviting me.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to this for a while now.
And so Mike's been helping individuals and business professionals navigate the tax code for years. So today he's bringing us his golf game and his knowledge. Today is a 9-hole partner team challenge. So 9 holes, we're gonna play the blue tees. We're not gonna do the red tees like Bryson does. Apparently he doesn't hit it far enough.
We're gonna play some man golf.
That's right, we're gonna play the men's tees. We're gonna see if we can, we'll see how many birdies we can make while we'll navigate topics on the tax code, wealth management, how they intertwine, how we're gonna help clients and people alike in our new business venture. What do you think we can shoot?
I think we can go for 30. I think we can break 30.
The goal.
You know, Bryson, wanted to break 50, but that was from the red tees. I think we can break 30 for 9 holes from the men's tees.
Perfect.
So I think we can do it.
Well, let's do it.
All right, brother.
All right.
So we're starting out on the first hole. It's a par 5. For me and Bryce, it'll definitely be reachable. First shot is over this water, and the second shot will be over that water.
Oh, beauty.
Perfect.
That is perfect.
Perfect.
Good ball.
Thank you.
Woo. Those two.
See, Bryce hits a 3-wood.
5-wood.
5-wood. Mike's got to hit a driver, but I got 100 pounds on him. So you see, we hit a great drive here. We're about 20 yards short of the water here, which was great tee shot. It left us about 233 in. I'm sure Matt's got the camera where you can see the flag. We're going to try to get home in 2 on this par 5. Into the wind though. This is going to play
it is hurting
long.
a little bit for sure.
Went right.
Not bad.
It's going to be okay over there, but that's not going to be a short right. It's going to be a little tough shot.
We're playing pit clean in place because there was a deluge of rain just a couple hours ago. What do you say, Mike?
Yeah, we had like probably 2 inches in an hour.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
For all those purists out there, yes, we're rolling the ball in the fairway.
Oh, come in.
Hung it out for sure.
Hung it out.
Sit down.
I mean, it landed straight. We'll see which one has the better angle, but we got to get up and down for birdie.
What are some of the biggest mistakes that you see individuals making year to year with their taxes?
There's limitations on what W-2 earners can do, but there are things that they can do that we will set up for them, in a tax plan to get the best out of their finances and their rate of return. So, but I definitely believe that, setting up corporate structures, setting up businesses, even on the side, gives people tax shelters to really defer or at least minimize the impact of taxes, even if they're just straight W-2 and have most of the money in the market. So, but there's definitely things that they could do. The tax code was written as a roadmap to avoid taxes, not evade, but avoid. Evade. I visit my friends who evade taxes in Sing Sing up in New York. For those of you in New York, you know where that is. But no, joking aside, there are ways to do it. There's a lot of strategies that we have. And that's why I hooked up with you, Bryce, because I have been, through my career, met a lot of financial advisors that never even consider taxes. It's all rate of return, rate of return, rate of return.
Right.
But it's really, it's great to get a rate of return, but it's not what you make in the market, it's what you keep.
That's right.
At the end of the day. So to me, you have to have taxes as part of your financial plan. And that's why we work so well together, because you're the first one that I've ever seen and run across that actually understands the tax code and actually incorporates that into your client's plan.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And so really what I'm hearing you say is the tax code is designed for business owners to then take advantage of what is written in the tax code. And it maybe is more difficult for those W-2 earners versus their business owner counterparts.
It is, but that doesn't mean they're precluded from some of the best strategies out there for investing in different real estate vehicles, investing in different, tax-free stuff that you'll show them and whatnot, investing in businesses to give them other deductions and whatnot.
Yep.
There's a myriad, the whole tax code, and it's about that big. I should have brought it today. I should have brought it, but my golf bag is full of the golf balls that we're going to use. But the tax code is written as a roadmap to show you all the different strategies to help people invest in the economy so they pay least amount of taxes. So, so that's what it's about. Let's see if we can get something close here.
Grab.
Skinned it on the back fringe. I like it.
Sit right there.
Sit there.
All right.
All right, we got it under the hole putt. So we got a shot. Let's make a putt.
Do it.
Oh my God!
What a good putt.
Holy Moses, that didn't drop.
Good putt.
No, it's not going to take it. It just doesn't break that much. Like
it's
that.
perfect.
Perfect.
Perfect. It's what we call the go zone.
Yep. All right, so now that I've freed my partner up, he's going to blast away right over the tree on the corner and maybe leave us like less than 100 yards in.
I hope so. You feel that wind kind of off the back right shoulder?
I feel it now switch, but it swirls over here.
Okay.
So.
Well, it's definitely over the tree.
Yeah, that might be in somebody's living room. But Mike's got him.
That's right. The difference between tax preparation, right? So people hiring their CPAs and then tax planning.
Yeah. I tell everybody, you don't go to do tax planning when you already have done your taxes or the year's already ended. That's locking the barn door after the horse ran away. You don't do that. You have to plan ahead of time and whatnot. Right. And people get all annoyed that they owe taxes and there's really nothing you can do after the fact. They'll come to me in the summer and says, I want an extension. What can we do for last year? I'm like, I don't know, maybe make a scrapbook. There's just nothing really you can do if you don't plan ahead. And as far as cost goes, tax prep, you look at the industry averages, $400 or $500 for a return. Tax planning, really you got to think of it as a cost benefit. If I'm going to put a tax plan in front of you that's going to save you, I just did one yesterday. I'm saving the guy with a huge cost segregation study. I'm saving him $380,000 over the next 5 years, adding $1.2 million in depreciation. We're taking it early. Obviously, we're not going to get it later, but he's got some very high income in these next 5 years. Mm-hmm. So we really have front-loaded his depreciation on all his investment properties, and I'm going to save $380,000 in the next 5 years, and then he can relax, and his income will go lower, and we'll compensate. But that's all planned. Mm-hmm. Okay, so something like that, I'm charging him to do a cost segregation study and a tax plan, probably in the $10,000, $12,000 range. But he's making $380,000 over the next 5 years. Right. So he's thrilled with it, trust me. So, it comes and goes. But yeah, you got to plan before ahead of time to really make sure you incorporate all your facets of your income, your kids, your estate, your investments. Everything's got to go and work hand in glove. So you definitely want the number to the back. Bryce, I got about 173 to the back.
Yeah, I got 167 stick. You got a little bit of wind in the face.
I got 152 middle. You want to carry it a little past middle.
Oh, that looks nice. Come on in.
It's coming, baby.
Work, baby.
Come on, now go left. Left on the bounce.
Yeah, good shot.
A little right
good
on
shot.
The bounce.
Bounced right off that downslope.
Yeah. All right, we have a putt at it, though. That's, yeah.
Boom. Boom, that's like how Roths and taxes go together right there, just like smooth.
That's great. What are you hitting here?
I got an 8, so I'm thinking 160. I'm trying to punch one a little bit.
Right.
I'd love to bring it in from left to right because of the slope there, but I just think that wind's going to hold it up.
I hit 7, so I think 8's about right for you.
I think I'll try and use that left slope and see if we can get it rolling past the hole.
Probably 5 yards into the wind.
Man, did not work for me.
No, that kind of hung out. He's going to be on the top over there. It's
not-
going to be pin high, but
Not what we want.
you know, nope.
Man.
I think we'll still have a putt on mine, probably 20 feet or so. So here's the ball mark, and you could see it was coming in, and for some reason it bounced that way.
Well, yeah.
Fixing ball marks. This one's gonna be pretty slow.
Yeah, it does go back uphill at the end.
I got this moving pretty hard left to right.
We're gonna get a little right to left right here off
Yeah.
of this slope here.
Yeah.
But then it's gonna go back.
All right, let's give this a run. This is, I think, the hardest par 4 on the ocean course, in my opinion, especially with the back flag.
Stretch, baby.
Well, that was pretty good. I just came
It's a
up
good
on
putt.
it a little.
Yeah.
I did the Rory McIlroy Pinehurst number 2 putt. Came up on it
Hey.
just a hair.
The best redemption on
Yes.
that for him was winning that green jacket.
I like the speed.
Stay up. Stay up.
Oh, it just turns much more at the hole. All right.
All right, we
I'll
gotta-
take par on that any day. If we would have birdied 1, that wouldn't have been as bad to take, because that back pin here, the third hole here, this is the hole we definitely should birdie, Bryce. Me and
We
Bryce.
have to.
It's the widest fairway in the ocean course. Blast away over those bunkers. We're downwind today. This is definitely a birdie hole. That's
yeah.
killed.
Perfect.
Oh, that's killed. And he turned it over, downwind. That's gonna fly through, and it'll probably bounce because it's down the hill. Nice shot.
Yeah, I think I might have got you.
You might have got me.
What are some of the financial strategies? You know, I have a lot of high net worth clients. I know you do too. We work on lots of them together. But for those that we don't work with, what are some of the strategies where those high net worth folks that want to give their kids or heirs some money while they're still alive, what's the best way to do that without triggering gift taxes or what simple?
See, to me, setting up a side corporation and business is the best way to do it, because obviously the inheritance tax, you know, is something that a lot of people work to avoid.
Right.
Okay. And, you know, like, I won't divulge.
You're
any
talking about
clients.
like the estate tax
Yeah, the estate
exclusion?
tax. Yes.
Okay.
So to me, you know, like for me and my kids, I don't want to sell them a business or
Right.
sell them anything, because then they'll have to pay tax on it.
Right.
I will want them to inherit that, but work in the business and employ them in the business.
Right.
And there's a term that, you know, that accountants throw around a lot. It's called a lifestyle business. That, you know, if your clients are interested, I'll explain that to them when I meet them, because it's a way to live kind of through your business that you're not preparing for sale to a third or an outside party.
Right.
There's a way you have to prepare financial statements and tax returns if you have an exit strategy where you want to sell this business. If you're not going to sell this business, which is, in my opinion, a much better strategy, if you have a family that wants to work in
Right.
the business, it's a much better strategy to create that, what's called a lifestyle business.
Right. Right.
And not sell it, and then incorporate a lot of your expenses and deductions through the company that are allowable under the law. The book, like I said, it's a big book, and there's a lot of expenses that are allowed. When I have lunch with my son, we may speak about business for 5 minutes, but the whole lunch is covered as a business expense.
Right.
Everybody knows these type of things, but there's other things, probably about 20 different things, you know, the Augusta rule, you know,
Right,
the
right.
different strategies on investing in real estate, on, you know, incorporating the home office deduction, which changed in the last couple of years. It used to be poo-pooed. Now everybody's using it.
Right.
Everybody's
Well,
using
and
it.
likely due to COVID, right?
And because
everybody
COVID
being
changed a
remote.
lot of this stuff and whatnot. So there's just a lot of different strategies that people don't even think about. And to be honest with you, they're afraid.
Right.
You know, they're afraid that I'm going to be looked at, I'm going to be audited. Let me tell you, I've been doing this now 30-something years, and I've had one client that was audited, you know, in 30 years.
Wow.
And it wasn't even because of any weird deductions, because something didn't match on a 1099 and whatnot.
Interesting.
So the fear that you're going to be audited because you're creating different taxable structures and corporate entities to avoid taxes according to the playbook is silly.
Right.
And people shouldn't be afraid of that, and my clients aren't. Once I educate them on that, let's do it. Let's do
Right.
it, and we employ the
Well,
strategies.
and I wonder, on that topic, like, do you think that is it the clients that are scared of making a mistake, or is it maybe a CPA that doesn't have your tax resolution background and having dealt with the IRS for years and not knowing what to do?
A lot of it is their financial advisor and their CPAs and their family and friends.
Right.
You know, because, oh, don't do that. You know, they get these things that they just avoid it at all costs.
Right.
Mike, I want to talk about S-corps and when it might make sense for a self-employed person to file as an S-corp, and maybe just a couple of benefits that they can take advantage of.
An S-corp is great because what it'll do is it opens up a lot of avenues for deductions. One, that's clear. Two, it avoids anybody that has got a side business or some sort of self-proprietorship pays a ton of what's called self-employment tax.
Right.
And not to get in the weeds, but that's like the worst tax to pay. It's a tax that I just had a tax return the other day, $13,000 in self-employment tax. And we set up an S-corp, and maybe it cost them $2, $3, $4 grand a year. Got rid of $13,000 in self-employment tax. So that's a no-brainer. Two, you can put yourself on payroll, which gives you a standard of your income for the year and deductions. So I love setting up S-corps right under the individual. Set up the S-corp right under the individual to have it as his management company and whatnot. Creates another layer of deductions and whatnot. So what you're trying to do is just try to avoid as much income getting to you individually at the end of the day as possible.
Right.
Defer, deduct as much as you can before you actually have to pay tax on it. So that's why I love the S-corp.
And then at the end of the year, right, if you have profit left over or whatever, you take those as in the forms of distributions, which
distributions, or any income will go to you in the form of a K-1,
right,
which will flow to your personal return. Right.
Right. And then those would be taxed obviously less than if you paid that as a salary or
100%.
income.
Yes, because that will be the net number after expenses that, we will go through all of that stuff to show what the net would be. But you're definitely going to pay less taxes if you have an S-corp set up personally, even if you're a W-2 employee.
Okay.
Yeah. Bryce just flew at 322 down the hill, okay, and we got 79 yards into this hole. I got a little chippy sand wedge that I'm just going to try to bump into the green here, okay.
Be nice.
Oh, how does that bounce that way?
All right.
All right, I think you got to land it a little longer than that.
Yeah.
That actually caught the front hill before the flag.
Kicked her left
and
on
it kicked
you.
to the left on me.
All right, we got to get one kind of snug.
Yeah.
And then rattle off some birdies. Sit.
Spin, baby.
Go in.
Oh!
God, that would have been nice. All right,
Woo!
we got one snug.
All right, now we're showing off, all right? 323 off the tee, and the man's got hands. I don't know if you can see. Let's look at the laser, how close that is. Look at that. Is that a foot? Might be Shaq's foot, but it's a foot.
That is a big foot.
Mm-hmm.
Snuck it in the side.
Snuck it in, right down the main street. Nice birdie.
Hey.
One under. So we're gonna go to the signature hole in landfall, Ocean 4, where we're going to look over the intercoastal, and behind that is the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean. And it's just the most beautiful hole in the world. It's like paradise here at landfall.
Yeah, and also if you want to buy one of those homes, Mike can really help you with the deductions on that house.
Absolutely.
And saving you some money.
100%. There's your intercoastal. There's Wrightsville Beach, and right across is the Atlantic Ocean. And look at that, on cue the deer, the speedboats. Pulled it. I tried to step on it and I pulled it. Sit right there. All right,
Okay.
It's on the front corner. That's a popular spot on this hole when you go forward too hard.
Sit.
Yeah,
Sit
get
down.
down, get down. Hit in the middle and spin. Oh, come on back, baby.
Spin.
It stayed right there.
Gosh, I wonder if
That was
it's
a pretty
in
shot, though.
pitch mark.
That was a pretty shot. It was never really left the flag.
Yeah.
That was right over the flag.
Yeah.
No, it actually goes left before it
Down
comes
the
back.
hill.
Yeah, it hits this part and it goes that way before it starts coming back.
Not even close.
Oh.
All right.
All right.
1 under through 4, we got to get on our horse.
Yep.
And I don't
great.
know if this is a good question for you or not. I mean, I obviously deal with it a lot, but solo 401ks,
Yeah.
right? Great tool to use for not only savings, but also then tax deductions for business owners. And most of actually the clients I speak with, they always talk about SEPs.
Yeah.
In my opinion, SEPs are a little outdated.
Yeah.
Solo 401ks, like the new kid on the block,
Yep.
more modern, sleek, can get more into it, less
100%.
rules.
Less rules, I think better on fees and whatnot, because the 401k has become so prevalent in the last 30, 40 years since it's been in inception. So a solo 401k was the absolute easy way to have these companies who are the record keepers to just do a solo.
Right.
Rather than a SEP, which has different rules and whatnot. So it's naturally been a cheaper alternative for it. And, you know, obviously the 401k and whatnot and the SEP is a whole thing that you should get into your clients with. Deferring taxes, defer. Don't always get into the defer model all the time.
Right.
I think everybody gets so mesmerized with deferring taxes. Sometimes you want, like, I prefer a Roth over a traditional.
Right, and we've talked about this a lot.
We've
right?
talked a lot about this. I prefer it because if you're at the point now where you're making some liquidity, you have some income, pay some taxes on your investments now so they can grow tax-free, and then you could take them out tax-free. There should be a good balance.
Right. Well, and historically speaking, we are in the lowest tax brackets that we've had in a while, right? I think it was in the 60s, the tax brackets were as high as 92, and the highest tax bracket was 95 or 96.
So in the 70s, it was 72%. In the 40s, the late 40s, it was 94%.
Right, 94.
Was the highest. And I always tell the story, you could edit it out if you want, but I always tell the story. There was a famous actor in Hollywood that made $100,000 a movie when the tax rate was 94%. So he lived in California, he paid 94% federal, 6% state. So after he made 2 movies in June, he stopped working for the year because why do I want to work? It's all going to go to taxes.
Right.
So he would stop working, you know? So it disincentivized him. So that famous actor became president of the United States in 1980, Ronald Reagan. That is a great story, and exactly why he was so anti-tax when he became president and enacted some of the lower rates when he took them over from the 70s when they were in 70%, and he brought the rates way down, and they've stayed historically low, where the top rate right now is 37. I think with the Trump new tax cuts that he's proposing, he's going to keep that for at least another 8, maybe 10 years. So Bryce is right. Tax rates are historically low, or what we call on sale. So if you want to pay, if you have some liquidity, pay some taxes to let your investments grow tax-free, that might be a plan.
Yeah, and even if you take that one step further, right, Republicans, historically speaking, they're not going to raise tax rates, right?
Right.
However, what we see being discussed last week was Donald Trump even said, you know, I'm okay with the highest tax bracket being raised from 37 to 39.6. And so to me as an advisor, I looked at that and I said, this is exactly what I've been thinking. We are going to have to raise taxes. And so for those of us who really implement the Roth, they're going to be very happy later on.
Because if you think about it, not only are we 36 trillion in debt, there's 200 trillion in unfunded liabilities right now, okay? So when that tax bill comes due, when those debts have to be paid, what are they going to do? They're going to cut benefits? They're not going to cut benefits. That's political suicide. They're going to have to raise revenues. And that's why Trump is looking at the tariffs and other ways we can, you know, sell minerals or whatever as a country and get out of this debt so we can start paying it down, because he knows it's not just the 36, it's the unfunded.
That's right.
So if nothing happens, rates have to go up.
Right.
And so you really got to plan for that.
Draw.
Oh boy, I left it out, Bryce.
I think that's going to be okay though.
It'll be all right, but it's not ideal.
Hurt a little leaves.
Yeah.
Draw. God, I hit that hard too. Get down.
Did that make the car path?
I lost it, but I don't think it could get to the out of bounds up there.
All right, we got basically a chip shot here. Bryce, we thought he was going to be up in the car path. He must have got a great kick, rolled all the way. This was basically 348. Can you see that on my watch? He hit that 348.
Bounce for him. Climb, climb.
That
Okay,
ain't bad.
all right, she's on the right.
That ain't bad right there.
She's on the right slope.
We got a 7-footer from there for birdie. That hit kind of soft. I thought downwind it would hit harder, but it got up the hill on the right level. Yes, get up there. Very nice. Cut the difference in half. Very nice. All right.
It did hit soft, didn't it?
It hit. They both hit soft.
Gosh darn it.
Yeah. All right.
I would have loved to have it on the other side of the hole, but
Yeah, but I think on the scramble it really doesn't much matter.
well,
You're gonna get.
I hope it doesn't.
Came out of it a little.
I don't know. We'll have to go to the booth on that one.
I think if you hit it firm on the left edge, it goes in the middle. Boom! Boom!
We needed it.
We needed that one, brother.
All right.
All right. That's as good as I could hit it.
Beauty.
Get back there.
Get on the backside. Get up. Good swing.
Thanks, bud.
Good swing.
Thank you. That could be good.
Come on.
Come on, baby. Come in.
Get up. Make a 3 on this hole, I'm happy, right? I'm never upset. Well, I might be upset today if we make a 3.
Right.
Not normally. Stretch, baby!
Man, that was slow. You see this here, Bryce?
Yeah.
This is all up.
Do it.
Oh!
Mike, I want to get your take on the increased funding for the IRS. And if that, does that raise any concerns for your general consumer, or what are your thoughts on that?
So, you know, obviously during the last administration, there were talks about 87,000 IRS agents. So I tell you, somebody who has a resolution practice, you know, that we definitely did not see that. We definitely did not see an increase in number of agents. Just to get somebody on the phone was torture. So, you know, with the increased funding, what that'll enable them to do is at least answer the phone, okay? So I definitely have gotten a sense, and we've been speaking to agents since the new administration. A lot of them have left. A lot of them were offered buyouts, okay? A lot of these people worked from home after COVID. They never went back into Washington to work at the IRS.
Wow.
So in the local office here, they had 13 revenue officers. They're down to 2. Okay, they're down to 2. So there's really not, you know, the manpower to really look at different cases and whatnot. They're just approving payment plans, approving people to, you know, get you know, liens off of them and whatnot, and to do different offers. They're actually combining the offer and compromise division into the collection division, which is totally new. So with the Trump administration, and they kind of have the attitude that leave the people alone. Not that I'm saying that this is the time to push an envelope, but if there was ever an environment that was, you know, let's say consumer friendly or taxpayer friendly, this would be it in the next 4 to 8 years or whatever. Right.
Well, and you said that there's only been one audit in your practice in 30 years.
In 30 years.
You know, and if you haven't seen a big increase in that, then you know, business as usual more.
And I'm not telling people to do anything illegal, but if you're going to, you know, implement strategies, tax evasion, tax avoidance is the key. So, but aggressive, you know, legal strategies to minimize taxes is what I always tell my clients. And there are some CPAs that are aggressive, some CPAs that are scared to death. Right. You know, I would probably lean more on the latter. Yeah, I mean the former rather than the latter, of course. You know, so we only got 3 more holes left. Let's see if at least we can give ourselves an eagle putt here. Yeah, and, eagle putt would be nice. You know, this is one of the toughest driving holes in a tournament. It's into the wind today. You got water right, you got OB left. You need to hit 2 drives in the middle of the fairway, and then we definitely I can already see with the white flags in the middle of the green. Love a red one, but white is better than yellow. Okay, so at least we got a shot here. So well, and I only see fairway here. So don't focus on everything else. Perfect. Oh, beauty. You smoked that thing too. That was good. Hung out there. Stay left of it. It's left of the bunker. All right. So we took Mike's drive, Bryce was in the bunker even though he was 40 yards ahead, but we got 227 to the middle of the green on a par 5.
Oh, that is pretty.
That is nice.
Be right, baby. Oh, good shot.
Thank you, bud.
Just a little past pin high, right of the pin.
There we go, brother. I kind of drifted it. It may not carry the bulkhead.
Yeah, she's on the back.
On the back of the green?
Yeah.
All right, let's see which putt is closer.
Cut.
Cut it. Oh, man. Good putt.
All right.
All right,
Three
birdie.
under
Had to
through
birdie
7.
it, and we did birdie it, so not bad. 3 under through 7. Let's see if we could sneak 1 or 2 more out. Tee shot to the fairway there, and then there's a wedge shot to the island green on the par 4. But if I hit it in play and we got an easy shot, Bryce is going to try to drive the island green.
Beauty.
Yep, that's
perfect.
60 to carry the front. He hit it good. It needs to draw. It's hanging out there. Come on, draw. Splash down. It was plenty of club. Pulled
Good
it up
swing.
just a hair. All right.
Good shot.
That's probably
pin high, just
pin high left.
12, 15 feet left of it.
That could be juicy. Get up a little. A little. Oh, nice shot.
Thank you.
Why don't we change it up?
Okay.
Yeah, let's change it up. This way, we haven't made anything with me putting first, so let's change it up.
Right on the edge. Good stroke. Yes. Good putt. All right, one more. Let's get one more.
But I do have to give you the credit. You had the read. I had the read all wrong. If I would have putted first without anybody there, I would have had it left to right.
Well, that's why we're playing as partners.
That's it, man. Oh, that's killed. That's exactly where I want it.
Perfect.
The camera inspires me. That's the best drive I've ever hit on this hole.
He says
I'm telling you, I usually
the
hook
camera
the
inspires
ever
me.
living you know what out of the ball on this hole. You know,
I like playing the percentages, probabilities, right?
in the market too.
Absolutely, right? Diversify.
Yep.
Reduce my risk, increase the likely positive outcome. Mike promised me, don't tell him, but Mike promised me he's gonna make a birdie here.
159 stick. I got 164 middle into the wind.
Well struck.
Left it out. Stop, turn, keep your head, and get into the green. Okay, pin high,
Yep.
middle of the green. This is for all you kids out there. The ball was here, the divot's there. Hit the little ball first, then the big ball, which is the earth.
Okay, 4 under.
I have a feeling this goes down the hill, goes a little left, but then at the hole, it looks like it wants to go right. Right? It looks like it goes down and then up that way.
Let me see.
Let me see with the old plumb bob.
She's been letting you down. You might need to put the plumb bob away.
Yeah. Well, you know, if you're cross-eyed, the plumb bob doesn't really help. Gotta go this way. It's gotta go right.
I do have to agree with you there. I think
Yeah, it goes this way.
we got a little grain going this way.
Yeah.
The cup's setting that way.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, if you keep trying the plumb bob.
From here, I could
eventually
see
it's
a
gonna be
little
right
more
one,
left in the
right?
beginning than there. I see a little more left and then just creeping back. So,
Yeah, I would almost say that I don't know if it'll even turn right at the end, but it might just straighten
Yeah.
out,
Yeah,
right? Because it's going left throughout. You agree with that?
I do. I do. I'm gonna stay here on this side
Okay.
and watch this either go in or at least have a good look to see if I could help you.
Yeah.
Give it a shot, B. Oh, that was so pure.
Boom.
What a way to finish, man. That was,
It was
a great
fun.
round.
It
A
was
lot
fun.
of fun, brother. A lot of fun.
Thanks, and I'm excited for our new business venture.
Ecstatic. Ecstatic.
And just like that putt, Mike and I will finish strong for you in all of your financial needs, your tax needs. Give us a shout. Happy to offer a second opinion on things.
Absolutely.
If we can add value, we'll be transparent about that. And if you're doing everything right, we'll pat you on the back and maybe offer you a job.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I look forward to it. And shout out to Matt, our cameraman, did a great job today. Thanks,
Awesome.
guys.
And one more thing, if you like the content or have any questions, give us a subscribe or like or throw us something in the comments. Say what you want to see more of. You know, tell me that my stroke, my putting stroke is out to in a little bit too much or whatever it may be. We'd love to hear back from you.
Thanks again, guys.